Every single weekday between 1 and 2 p.m., we release our Central Indiana Scoreboard show. It's kind of like the ESPN Radio Sports Center, put together by a former sports editor. So it's kind of like your audio sports section. Every weekday between 1 and 2 p.m., we feature the Pacers, Fever, Colts, IndyCar, IU, Purdue, Ball State, and a whole lot of other things in Central Indiana. Sometimes we even talk about national sports when it's important to people in Central Indiana. What you're listening to now is the NBA Playoffs Report with John Robertson. It's podcast number 272.2. We spend most of our time talking about the Pacers and what an incredible night it was, and what it means for the series going forward. We also talked a little bit about the Oklahoma City, Minnesota series out west, and what it will take for the Timberwolves to get back in the series.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
John, really just a couple of questions today to ponder. Number one, I need your thoughts after 12 hours to think about the Pacers game, what your thoughts are. And number two, I've been hearing a lot of chatter that it's done. It's Indiana and Oklahoma City, game over. So I need your answers to both of those questions, John.
All right, let's start with how we feel in 12 hours post game. Still feeling really good. Really, I mean, I was riding the high all day because everybody, even people that aren't NBA fans, most of the time wanted to talk about it, right? All my students wanted to talk about it. All my coworkers wanted to talk about it, which is
I heard
great.
a kid at school say they were tired of everybody talking about the Pacers. I've never heard that problem before.
Yes, no one said that at all. Everybody really wanted to like relive the moment, talk about their favorite parts of the comeback. So that made for a really great experience. Our school does Jersey Thursday every Thursday. That's just a tradition that we do at our school. So like a lot of times you get football, baseball, whatever. Today it was like majority Pacers jerseys, which was really cool. And people that didn't have Pacers jerseys were wearing Pacers t-shirts. So it really felt like just Pacers Day at school, which was really cool. So enjoyed that. I spent some of my prep time watching Stephen A's responses and some of the media's responses and some of the fan reactions and just living in the moment. So that's how I'm feeling today.
Real fast, I want to say that I didn't waste my time with people like Stephen A. Smith. I listened to people who actually know what they're talking about, and they seem to have the same opinion that this is just too much for New York to overcome. The New York history has caught up to them. Are they selling this Knicks team short?
I'm not willing to go that far yet. The reason I listen to Stephen A is because I kind of, when he's so openly
You wanted to
biased.
hear the humility.
I wanted to see if he would, like, for me, I tweeted at him last night, and I knew he'd never respond to it, but it was like, 2 dadays ago, he said that Halliburton was not a superstar. I think after the choke and the owning the moment, and like 3 of those, and like just the person that, like, more than just his play, Halliburton has grown into a superstar because of his personality plus his play. I wanted to see Stephen A's response to that, and he's still standing on he's not and whatever, but I did want to see him angry. I'm not ready to buy into this is over at all by any means. Like, this could go one of two ways. The Pacers can just continue to try and step on the neck. I still think it goes 6 regardless. Wow. I think New York can come back re-energized because of how that one happened, and they could like regroup and play really well, or they could be demoralized. Like, you just don't know which tree or which branch of the future is going to go.
What happens is in game 2, after a loss like that, the team comes out and plays hard until they can't lose the other team, and then and then that's when the series is over. Hopefully that's what we'll see, but there's a lot of series left to be played, and you never know how the emotions are going to affect either team.
Agreed. Let's look at the history of the Pacers so far, just in since January. After they have a big win, what do they generally do the next game? They come out and start really slow, really flat, and everyone agrees that the Pacers' big advantage is if they keep the tempo up. So if they start slow, they're going to give New York an opportunity to come back and even the even the record. Even though that'll give home field or home court to the Pacers, it's still you're letting them back in. So we'll see how it goes. I don't like to jinx things. I don't like to come out and cheer too loudly before it's time. That's not the way I do it. So the people that are victory lapping already, I think, need to maybe rein it in a little bit. But enjoy it.
I'm not talking about victory lapping. I'm talking about Knicks fans.
Yeah, I've seen mixed reaction from Knicks fans. Knicks fans have either crashed out and they're mad and over it, or they think that it was a fluke, which I don't think that's true either.
Knicks fans I respect, like Rich Eisen, for example.
I didn't see his
Those are the
response.
kinds of opinions I was interested in, and he said he just can't imagine the Knicks could come back from that. And I can see that being true.
I could see that being one of the possible.
And Jalen Brunson is as tough mentally as it comes.
For sure. I think, but like if we really look at it, there was 3 players that stuck out to me as like the big difference makers for the Knicks, right? You have Jalen Brunson, who had, I don't even remember how many points he finished with. I could pull it up, but a lot. It was a lot. 43. And then Towns had 35, and he played really well for the most part. And then the big difference maker that I don't know that anybody saw coming was Mitchell Robinson. Like his rebounds.
Saw it coming if you watched the last series against the Celtics.
He just played such an important role that was allowing the bench for the Knicks, what little bench they used, but the bench they had to come in and play well, right? And he was...
Yeah, and if they're not playing a team that isn't suspect on the front line, he won't even get into the game. That's how it is. If they're playing Minnesota, he'd be worthless to them. He can't do anything offensively. When there are other good rebounders on the court, he's not as effective. When you have teams like the Celtics and the Pacers who struggle to rebound, he is awfully, awfully good.
I think his minutes early in the game made a big difference and kind of set the tone for the rest of the game until everybody got tired on New York. And then, like we said in the discussion, once we get to the fourth quarter and everybody's tired on the Knicks, that's when the Pacers have a chance to make a run. And boy, did they make a run.
Yeah, even in the last series, Joe Mazzulla thought that Mitchell Robinson was the difference in that series. And he tried to go to the fouling him all the time, and it just seemed to, like everyone kind of mentioned today, that gave the Knicks rest. Every time you foul Mitchell Robinson, he misses 2 free throws, but they get rest. And it kind of played into their hands. I don't think that Rick Carlisle was very good yesterday as a head coach, but he did not deploy that. He kind of let Mitchell Robinson have his. And the Pacers fought for rebounds. They're just not very good rebounders. When they started bringing Nesmith in to get some rebounds and Nembhard went to the kind of tipping it out to a teammate deploying that, it neutralized them a little bit. And those are a couple of adjustments that they made on Robinson, who looked just incredibly tired after the middle of the third quarter, his first stint of the second half.
So you touched on Rick Carlisle a little bit. I'd have to say there's a couple of things that I was questioning early on from his coaching, but like in the end, it played out that he was right.
It really did.
You know what I mean? Like I wanted him to challenge a couple of plays earlier in the night, but like having that challenge at the end made a huge difference. So I'm not going to second guess him. Even if I feel like I have a question, I feel like he's proved kind of like what he said about Halliburton and the choke, right? Let's talk about that too. He got asked about Halliburton and the choke, and he said, I think Tyrese has earned the right to do whatever he wants to do to celebrate, or ballpark paraphrase of that.
Right.
And I agree. So I also think Rick has kind of proven that, like, I don't agree with some of the calls he makes or the decisions he chooses, but he has proven that I guess we need to trust him a little bit and give him some slack.
Especially at this point.
Yeah, of course. Like, I wanted them to foul at the very end instead of letting Brunson or Cat, because Brunson got an opportunity for 3 and Cat got an opportunity for 3. And I did not want them to have either of those shots, but it was a great game. I mean, honestly, how can you not be a NBA fan after that game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I've been promoting to people around me that the NBA has been fun to watch again for a few years. I'll say at least a few years. I think
Yeah.
the COVID year, the bubble year, whatever you want to call it, wasn't that good. But like
The talent level's been really high.
I've said for a while now, we've got a lot of good talent. We've got likable and interesting players. The NBA is better than it used to be. And we're back to where it's fun to watch. And a lot of people are like, I'm still not watching it. But like, if you could watch this game and tell me it wasn't exciting and wasn't fun, then I don't even know what to tell you.
I don't know how somebody could watch a college basketball game and watch an NBA game and think that a college basketball game was better.
I see parts of it. College basketball I enjoy because it feels like they care a little more at times. But the playoffs is different.
Yeah, okay. How about this? Give me an NBA playoff game over
Sure. Absolutely.
any college basketball game.
I just think it was exciting. I really love it. I think the Pacers fans shouldn't get too far ahead of themselves. I think that just let it go the way it's going. It's going to be exciting. Enjoy it for what it is, and it's going to be great.
All right, John. What happens tonight?
Let's see. We have we have Timberwolves at Oklahoma City tonight. I think it's going to be another Oklahoma City victory. I hate to even say it's going to be close. Like, I think it's just going to be an OKC win. I don't have anything on the spread though. I just feel like it's going to be OKC win.
I'll give you a spread. I think it's going to be OKC easily by double digits. I said before the series began, it's a high IQ team against a low IQ team. That's exactly what played out in game one. They added Caruso into that mix, and that just made them so good.
Caruso's been playing really well. I mean, and when he was on Chicago, I watched him, and I'm trying to think of he's been around the league a little bit. But like I remember watching him when he was on Chicago and not thinking he was that exciting. But for some reason, he's been really good and fit in Oklahoma City.
He just gets better and better every year. It's like McConnell. He adds something to his game every year. He's always been – the reason he was in the NBA to begin with is because he was a good defender, smart defender. Then he started to develop offensively. But he is just such a difference maker on both ends with his basketball IQ. And, of course, you got the best scorer in the league as well with Oklahoma City. And you just got guy after guy after guy after guy after guy to throw at the other team.
Do you think that Julius Randle comes out and tries to have a really good game tonight? Because there's a lot of who won the trade talk going on last night between Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns. So I could see Randle wanting to come out and play extra hard tonight.
The Timberwolves also got Dante DiVincenzo. You could definitely make the argument that the Timberwolves won that trade.
That was the very next thing I was getting ready to say is having watched him play in person, I don't like Dante DiVincenzo's personality necessarily, but man, is he a good ball player. He's
shoot it, and he is such a good player.
Yeah, I need to see the killer instinct from Anthony Edwards. Talent-wise, I think he's in the ballpark. I'm not going to sit here and say something as crazy as he's as good as Jordan.
No,
he's in the ballpark.
No. But yeah,
it could be a big ballpark. Athletic. It could be a big ballpark, right?
Yeah.
I just want to see him come out with the attitude and the killer instinct and try to destroy your opponents. You just take them down, and If Anthony Edwards can do that, he has potential to be one of the best.
And that's really the Timberwolves' only hope, right?
Yeah, outside of DiVincenzo going off and going crazy and, Randall having a monster game, Rudy Gobert is not going to do a ton. He's going to be there, but
the only way they win the series is if Anthony Edwards turns into Superman.
How about this? Anthony Edwards has to turn into Tyrese Halliburton to get this win. We sit here and we're talking so much about Halliburton. I am going to tell you that I've already decided that I'm buying a Nesmith jersey for next season. Like whatever the city jersey is next year, I'm buying a Nesmith. I love that. That guy's so good.
Yeah, he is becoming quickly one of the Pacers fans' very favorite players. And we got him for Malcolm Brogdon. Thank you so much to John for the time. Always appreciate it. And thank you for listening. Do us a favor and tell your friends and family about this podcast, and it would be very helpful to us. Thanks so much. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.